Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the luxury items that I sold in 2021. But before anything else, if you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. If these are the kinds of videos that you like watching, I would appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button down below. And if you want to connect with me on Instagram, it's at TrishDLF. So I actually didn't think that I sold much last year, but I was looking through my archives and apparently I sold like 4 bags. So I feel like that's quite a number for a year. But yeah, apparently I sold 4 bags and a pair of shoes. So the first bag that I sold last year was my Mulberry Alexa bag. I bought this bag pre-loved in 2020 and I quickly realized that it wasn't the bag for me. It was a very heavy bag even without items in it, and yeah, I feel like in the height of the pandemic in 2020 I was just really boredom shopping, and the Mulberry Alexa was one of the things that just got me. I thought I was gonna start a new trend with the satchel bags by bringing it back, but as much as it was a pretty bag and in a really pretty color, it just wasn't for me. It was just too heavy and it didn't fit my lifestyle. So that was a bag that I quickly realized after receiving that it was something that I was really going to let go of eventually. I did my designer bag collection last year and I didn't even include that anymore because I knew that I was going to sell it. But yeah, I only sold it last year. I don't even have pictures with that bag because I did not use that bag, and I literally just had it in storage and like for one video. I think it was in one video. I also lost money on that bag as much as I got it pre-loved because no one else wanted it, so I sold it for a really low cost. Next bag that I sold was the Louis Vuitton multicolor Alma in Noir in the size PM, I think. Now this one, it was beautiful for a while. I had a really good idea of it. Like, I had this idea in my head of how to style it and how I was gonna use it. I did use it a bit, just a tiny little bit. I do have a photo with it, just one. But yeah, this was also a bag that I bought in the height of 2020, in the height of the pandemic. Just like mostly boredom shopping. I feel like, yeah, the Mulberry and the multicolor were definitely like boredom purchases. The multicolor got really in 2020. 2021 not so much anymore, but a lot of bloggers had it and they were really pushing the 90s aesthetic, and so I was drawn into that aesthetic for a while. I really had this idea in my head how I was going to style it and that it was going to be a really good fit into my wardrobe. It is a really beautiful bag, the multicolor. The quality is really good. The PVC canvas on the multicolor is really much thicker, as they said, versus the canvas that Louis Vuitton puts out now. So quality-wise, that was a really nice bag. However, after the hype and after my illusion of this like 90s aesthetic died down, I quickly realized that it's not me. This bag wasn't me. As you can see with my bags, and if you've seen like my bag collection from before, you can see like a sort of trend that I mostly just really buy classics, and in my collection the multicolor looked really out of place. Like, maybe if my collection had a lot of quirky bags, if I had a lot of like eccentric type bags with like really different designs, the multicolor would fit right in. But when I looked at my collection as a whole, like the multicolor would really stick out, and yeah, I just knew it wasn't me at the end of the day, as much as I really tried to fit it in because I had this illusion of like the 90s aesthetic and that I was going to rock that aesthetic. I thought that it would be a good bag to add to my wardrobe, but eventually after trying this aesthetic, I realized that's not really me. I'm really just a basic dresser. My outfits, especially now, tend to go more towards the casual and basic side. And so I realized that I had to let go of that bag. For me, the Louis Vuitton multicolor line is more of like an art piece, and it's more of like a collector's item rather than a bag that I can fully utilize and use on a day-to-day basis. And with my bags, I keep it small. If you've been here for a while, you know that I try to keep my bag collection really small. So I really prefer bags that I know I will be able to use. So my bags aren't just for display purposes. They aren't for collection purposes. I have my bags because I intend to use them. And so because the Louis Vuitton multicolor didn't fit into the usability aspect of my bag collection, I knew that I had to let it go. When I let this bag go, I actually posted a photo with a caption that said something like, it's a very beautiful piece, but it's more of a collector's item, and it's more of like an art piece rather than a bag, rather than a usable bag to fit my lifestyle. And I'm not in that stage yet where I'm collecting bags for the sake of collecting or for the sake of having it as an art piece or as a display. And so because this was a bag that was more toward the art side, more toward the collector's piece, I decided that we needed to part ways, and maybe in the future, because it is such a beautiful bag, maybe in the future we will meet again. When I have the money and budget to have bags just standing there for collector purposes. Next bag that I sold was the Chanel medium large flap in lambskin and in the beige clair color. Now this one, I made money on this bag. I feel like that was the most money I made on a resale. I will link the unboxing of that bag over here, but basically I bought that bag for a friend who ended up not taking it, so I passed it on to someone else. It's a full story on that video, and you can just watch it if you want to know how I came to getting that bag. So that bag I bought purely for resale. So not much to say here because I really intended to sell that when I bought it. I made good money on that bag, definitely. But I think it took me like 3 months to sell it, 2 to 3 months to sell it since I bought it. Still a good profit for that time duration, I would say. And then for the last bag that I sold, it was the Givenchy Pandora in red. It was the size small with silver hardware. I think the red was like this kind of red. It was a very like solid red, and I just really love the shade of it. It was like the perfect red for me. And if you've seen past videos, you would know how much I love this Givenchy Pandora bag. It's just the best. It's an amazing utilitarian bag. Every time I talk about that bag, I only have like purely good words to say about it. I can't praise that bag enough. Every time I wore that bag, it just felt great. It was a very comfortable bag to use. The only reason that I decided to sell it is that I think that it's time. I feel like we already had a lot of moments. I bought that bag in 2015, 2016, way back when the Givenchy Pandora was at its peak, at its height. It's just that I have been adding quite a few bags to my collection, and yeah, some of them need to go, and because my collection is very small, the Givenchy Pandora was like the next one to go because it was the one that really wasn't being used anymore. Like the past 2 years, actually since the pandemic, I did not wear that bag. So it was just really natural for that bag to go next. I think it's also because of the color, because it's red. It really chooses outfits, which is one of the reasons why I haven't been wearing it. I personally feel that I've already had a lot of moments with the bag. I've definitely ROI'd that bag already. I've used it a lot, and because it doesn't have sentimental value to me, it was just natural for it to be the next one to go. Looking back now, do I have any regrets of selling that bag? Actually, no, because I don't really miss it. I can appreciate it for what it is. We had good times together. I feel like it's like when you talk about an ex-boyfriend, like, we had a good time together, but that's in the past. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, that's what this bag feels like. Like, it was great. Our moments together were great. I really enjoyed having the bag, but I've sold it now and it's time to move on, and I don't regret anything about it. I don't miss it, although I appreciate it. It's a great bag. But yeah, my current collection right now, because I've sold that bag, I feel like I'm happier with the state of my collection now after letting go of that bag. And for the last item on this list, it's not a bag, it's a pair of shoes. It's the Chanel ballerina flats in beige clair. So this one is also in lambskin leather, but in beige clair. So I do have the two-tone version, the classic Chanel ballerina flats, the one with the black cap toe, and everything else is in beige. But I also got this plain beige clair version, and also in lambskin. However, I got it a size too small. I'm usually a 39 in Chanel shoes, like for the espadrilles and for the ballerinas. But then I decided to buy a 38.5 pair of ballerina flats. Which, okay, it fit me, but it was a little tight. And because I don't really use ballerina flats right now, it's not the in thing. Everyone's wearing that sandals, so I don't even use my cap toe ballerinas or my espadrilles. I've rarely been using them. So because of that, the size factor, and because I don't use the ballerina flats either, I decided to sell them. So that one was like really funny. I had it for like a year, barely worn, and then I just decided to sell it because I was like, yeah, it's not gonna work out. Like, stop trying to make it work. You're just gonna have money sitting in the closet if you don't sell this yet. So I was like, okay, fine. Like, it's about time. I had it for a year and I barely wore it. So it's like, okay, time to let go. Since then, I haven't really been wearing ballerina flats. All I wear right now are dad sandals. So it was a good decision to let go of it, even if I lost some money on that. Okay, so that was it. Those were all the luxury items that I sold in 2021. This year, I might let go of like one bag. Yeah, probably one bag. Some things in the shopping board already. But I don't think I'm adding any more bags. I told myself last year that I wasn't going to add any more bags. But look where we are now. We have like 2 additional mini bags, which were definitely not in the plan. So right now, we're trying to take it slow in 2022. We will probably sell one bag, and hopefully we will not be adding any more. So for this year, it'll most probably be reviews and opinions on bags. I will take this year to enjoy what I currently have, because we can't just be buying everything. We're not able to enjoy the things that we buy anymore these days because of conspicuous consumption. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button down below to help the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to connect with me on Instagram, it's at TrishDLF. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it if you could. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!